Hey, you think this is enough red? Hey, what's up? It's Nicholas back at it again with another video, and today I wanted to be chill. If you're wondering if each and every video is just going to be a completely different setup from the last one, honestly, probably, because I actually really enjoy messing around with my setup, so I hope you like this one, because I really do. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about things that I learned being a perfectionist on YouTube. And as an added challenge to myself, as I said in my previous video, I will not be scripting this, so yeah. So, thing number one, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, has to be perfect, nor will ever be perfect. So just get on with it and deal with it. As simple and as obvious as that lesson may be for some of you, that took me years to embrace and to believe. I used to always think that you have to consistently and constantly put your best foot forward no matter if you enjoy it or not. Try your hardest to give something to people that is at the peak of what you can do, because otherwise they will not pay attention and they will not appreciate. And I put that first before my own enjoyment, and I made my peace of mind rely on the fact of whether or not something was great and perfect, instead of resting my peace of mind on the fact that I made something good enough. And that's all you need to be on YouTube, is be good enough. And sometimes you don't even need that. Arguably, being bad at the beginning is perfectly fine. And I couldn't wrap my head around that. I couldn't accept that for the longest time. And I want to put it out there for anybody else who is like me. It's okay to kinda suck at some things. It's fine. I want to put this out there for anybody who's even slightly as much of a perfectionist as I usually am. It's okay to screw up. It's okay to not be as good as how much you expect yourself to be. It's okay to have a product that's seemingly subpar, because the likely truth is nobody scrutinizes your work more than you do. And nobody will probably notice those imperfections that you notice ever, unless you point them out. And sometimes pointing them out doesn't even work on some people. So just get over it and get on with it. That basically covers a lot of what I was gonna say. But number two, all you need to do is be passionate about being you. You don't have to display a polished version of yourself all your life. I know this is kinda samey with my first point, but this more specifically points to you as a person, to me as a person. It's not necessarily about the quality of your videos, or your lighting, or your setup, or your audio, or your video quality. No, it's about the quality of you. All you need to do is be passionate about being you, and whatever that means to you, that's what matters. It matters that you get to show that comfortably. And I get that in the beginning, it's not gonna be at all. I mean, even just imagining the thought of speaking to a lens is an odd thing to do. Don't put too much pressure on yourself if you're not comfortable speaking to the camera, because even me at this point, I'm not fully comfortable. I used to be, like I said before, but now I'm trying to work my way towards feeling a bit more natural. I'm trying to think of the camera as just another person, because the truth is, eventually it will be. Eventually there will be somebody across me listening to me talk to them. So I'm trying to develop that even for myself, that this thing is fine. It's just another person. And if that actually threatens you a little bit more because you're not comfortable with other people, then just think of it as talking to yourself. That's definitely something that has helped me. I do a lot of thinking on my own and journaling through voice memos and things of that nature. So when I'm making videos now, that's what I try to keep in mind. It's as simple as just talking to myself, or talking to a friend. And that's all I need to do, because when I talk to myself and people that are close to my life, I tend to talk about the things that I care about. And when I care about something, I find myself speaking a bit more passionately, because I know exactly what my mind, and as cliche as it is for me to say, my heart, wants to say. And so it's naturally just flowing outwardly from within. And I think that's one of those things that I wish I told myself when I was trying to take YouTube more seriously and trying to be more consistent. Is that, hey, don't pressure yourself so much. Don't treat it like you're teaching a class and scripting a whole thing. Don't treat it so seriously, like it's your job, because it's very, very far from being your job at the moment. It doesn't have to be that, and if it's impeding on you enjoying what you're doing, and if it's keeping you from actually encouraging yourself to keep doing it consistently over and over with enjoyment in the process and in the result, to actually get you to the point where you could treat it as a job, then it doesn't matter, because you will never get there if you just can't bring yourself to do it. So, be you. Talk about what you care about as naturally as you can, and make something out of that. I know that the abridged version of this advice would just be the cliche be yourself motto. I wouldn't necessarily say that, because I don't like telling people to be themselves completely, because we all have terrible parts of ourselves. I think that a better way to say it would be your reasonably best self. And I don't just mean that on camera, but in your day-to-day life. Treat yourself and live your life as best as you can, so that you can be the best version of yourself that you can be for that day, for that hour, for those first 15 minutes of your day. In the same way, act that way around others. I'm not saying run away from your imperfections, but instead embrace them, integrate them, and correct them if you have to. But in those things that you're passionate about, that you care about, that you love, that make you unique, embrace them and show them as best as you can. One last thing though, as much as I encourage you to be you, if there are genuine flaws, genuine things that people critique you on, please don't just dismiss them or label them as haters who don't understand you, because maybe they understand you more than anybody else. Maybe they have a point. Try your best to be able to discern where that line is between hatred and genuinely useful criticism, both in your life and in your content. Maybe you really could improve. Maybe you really are doing something bad. And that is as much of a truth as being true to yourself. But yeah, my point is just be fair to yourself in both allowing your inner self to express what it loves, whilst also leaving space to correct for the things that would genuinely make you and your life better, as well as your experiences with the people around you. In turn, those improvements will also reflect in the way that you treat your social media and your content, and the way that you present yourself, and your viewpoints, and your opinions, and the way that you think. It all goes back around. Number 3, gear doesn't matter as much as you think that it does. That being said, you can see that I am very well prepared in the gear end of things, but I'm trying to make a point that you don't need as much as you think you need. My advice? Get your phone, make sure you have enough storage, grab a lamp, set that up for good lighting. If you don't know how, I made a whole video about cheap lighting setups, you can go watch that after this video. And arguably the most important tip, get good audio. Whether that be a previous phone that you have, a cheap $50 microphone, or these dirty buds, just try your best to get good audio, because surprisingly enough, good audio is more important than good video quality. Most people, including me, cannot stand videos with bad audio, no matter how high quality they look. You could give me a video in 144p shot on a bloody potato that has decent audio versus a really sharp 8K video that sounds like it was shot with a tin can in a sewer, and I would undoubtedly choose that video with 144p, because at least then I can actually hear what the person is trying to say and what's going on and what the point is, versus seeing clear images but having my ears absolutely bleeding from trying to make sense of whatever the hell I was hearing. So yeah, that was a little rant. Anyway, my point is, your gear doesn't matter as much as you think it does. And if you want to have a nice looking setup, I genuinely recommend the video that I made, because I show you how to do that on a budget. You can make your videos look good with just a phone, and you can make your audio sound good with something as simple as voice memos. Or if you want to go fancier, you can definitely buy a budget microphone, like a USB mic or a Rode Video Micro, or again, use one of these. And that's all you need to start. You need to get over that hurdle of trying to make the image perfect, the script perfect, your personality perfect, and trying to figure out which niche is perfectly marketable for you and which interests are perfectly presentable, and trying to hone in on learning as much as you can before you begin. Number 4, you don't need to know everything in order to start. You don't need to know SEO or how to game the algorithm or how to make the perfect thumbnail or how to present yourself as best as you can in front of the camera or have the best setup. None of that. You don't have to have the best script, best setup, fancy effects and transitions and text. None of that. All you need to do is start and learn from there. You can end up getting so caught up in trying to learn every single thing without actually learning how to do it because you never did. Because you never started. You never actually took that one step forward. You just stood there, read a bunch of books, and never made a move. Make that move. Make that one step. And then try to keep taking as many steps forward as soon as you can. And learn along the way. Because at least you're putting something out there as you're learning, instead of just learning and having nothing to show for it. Learning matters, but it also matters that you're doing something about what you want to make. That you're making something even if it isn't perfect. That you're doing something even though you don't know exactly how to do it right, and even though you don't know exactly what you're even doing. The experience itself is something that will teach you. The experiences you have are lessons of their own. So just take those steps. Take those steps and do it. These are things that I have had to learn as a content creator and as a person. Nothing has to be perfect. Nothing has to be super filtered. And sometimes people have a point when they call you out on what they don't like about you. But that doesn't mean you should shy away from expressing what you truly love and care about. At the end of the day, I'm just another guy on the internet putting himself out there with what he thinks about life and posting stuff online. It's really not that deep, but it can be if you look for meaning within it yourself. So yeah, if you enjoyed me blabbering on about what I think, you can leave a like, subscribe, click that notification bell. If you want to see my photography and my content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at @NicholasLawlin and @SentientPoison. If you want to watch my other videos, feel free to look around. And that's it, really. I really hope that you got to take away something from this video. Thank you so much for watching. That's it from me for now. Cheers. Okay, I'm gonna need to cut that up a lot.